Alright guys, we're going to do another character profile. This time we are going to cover one of my absolutely favorite heroes. I've never really used him up until yesterday. I noticed I could ascend him, and I checked out his ascension, and it was really good. I'm talking about Augustus. He's a 3-star. He starts off as a 3-star. I'm not quite positive where you get him from. Heroic summons. Okay, so I normally don't use healers because most of them are pretty weak. But he, as you can see, he's got good attack, good defense, really good health, and good skill. Okay, on top of that, he's armored. So like, most of your healers are gonna die really quick. You do have a couple of other good healers, but not great. This guy here, especially for campaign mode, I like him for Tower of Ponage a lot. I haven't really used him for PvPing because he doesn't match my the way I like to go about it. He doesn't have a lot of large AoE damage, and healers aren't super important to me during PvP because if you're doing it correctly, you should be able to finish it off in about 2 turns, so you don't really have a chance to get healing done. But for campaign mode and even Ponage, Tower of Ponage, he's great. Let's look at his stats here. First off, he's armored, like I said. Plus, on top of his massive health, it takes him forever to die. Secondly, he gets less damage from demons, so that's pretty decent. Nothing too special. He has boosted damage versus demons. Again, nothing too special. He starts. This is something I think you get from his ascension. He starts off with all added ability energy, which is great. This next stat is something that you don't get until he's ascended, and he's not super hard to ascend. So he does have one. I think he had to have. Oh, you can't see it anymore, but it was one of these, but it was the green and yellow one. So they're not super hard to get, but it did take me a couple days of non-stop crawling through this one dungeon to get it. But anyways, this thing right here, when his HP is full, he regenerates the team's health a little bit every turn. So especially in campaign, I'm talking about he gives about 250 health back each turn. So as long as his health is full, every single time your heroes are getting, like in a normal dungeon, he will literally boost, like as soon as they get hit, they're right back to full health thanks to him. And it's only whenever he has full health, but he comes with a ability which heals himself all the way back up. He's got warriors gain a 25%. Well, I think this is just an event, but that's a good event there. All right, so his ability, this one right here, it cleanses all debuffs and heals 75%. I think it usually gives me, it says 75%, but every time I use it, it gives me like 2,200 health. And considering the fact that he only has 2,200, I don't understand that, but so every time he gets hit, I'll just heal him right back up. Sometimes I'll save it if I'm in a particularly hard dungeon and I need to actually save it. But I did a run on Tower of Ponage yesterday where he was the only hero left, and there was 3 on the opposing team, on the enemies. And every time they would, because his heal you can use it again like every 3 or 4 turns. I can't remember exactly, but every time they would get him almost dead, I would heal myself right back up, and he single-handedly took out the last 3 heroes. And he's just a great character. On top of that, his smite attack is not too shabby either. His next ascension, he doesn't get a new move. His smite just goes from 1 to 2 and then to 3, besides the healing. And then his next ascension, he's going to be almost unstoppable. Once he gets Aegis Wall on top of that, if you guys don't know what Aegis Wall is, every time you get hit the next turn, you can't take any damage. And he starts off with even more energy. So, I mean, he's just amazing. If you get lucky enough to get him through the heroic portal, make sure that you ascend him ASAP, because after that ascension, he is just incredible to have. Alright, I think I'm only going to do 2 characters this time, since it took me a minute to explain Augustus. So next we're going to go with Phenol. He's another great Great hero. I like to use him for defending in my dungeon because he's a tank. As you can see, he's got a whole lot of health, not bad attack, and pretty good defense as well. His stats, he has a small chance to poison, so when people hit him, they might get poisoned. He's magical, so he takes less damage from non-physical attacks. And he is slow, which is one thing I hate about tanks, but, you know, he's going to get a turn regardless, so it's not too bad. He's a 3-star as well. And his abilities, the reason I use him for defending is because jelly shot, it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is AoE, and most importantly, it poisons. And so you hit them all with it, and then they're going to take, as soon as it's done, it'll be the end of the turn, so they'll take that extra damage from the poison. So he's a great hero as well. And as far as his ascension goes, he has Jiggle, which will be like a taunt, and he has poison too, so an even greater chance. Now, there's not a whole lot to say about him. I like him a lot for defending. I don't like him a whole lot for attacking in PvP because I don't like slow too much. It's not a huge deal because, again, he's going to get a turn regardless, but I'll use him every once in a while depending on who the opponents are. In campaign, I do like him a little bit. I don't like the slow a whole lot because in that it does make a difference, but not too much of a difference. So, again, great defender, decent attacker, and mediocre as far as campaigning goes. Alright, so that'll be all for this video, and next time we'll get back into it. If you guys have any specific requests on anyone, I don't have everyone unlocked yet, of course. You can see who I have here. If you guys have any requests on who you'd like to see first, then let me know and I will make into that. You can see almost all of my heroes. Gold is not an easy thing to come across in this game. It takes, once you start unlocking more and more heroes, then you got to level them all the way up, catch them up to the rest of your heroes, and then you got to use all that gold, and it costs so much. But anyways, we'll get into another one next time. That's all for this time.